What is going on, guys? It is Alpha Alec here. I'm bringing you guys with another tier list. This tier list will actually be something that might be a little bit more nichey, but I'm doing a Treyarch Zombies tier list. Um, Before I start, I think I'm better go over some ground rules. First of all, this is like any tier list I make, my own opinion, and it is certainly subject to argument. So if you think my tier list is incorrect, you can always just send me a new one and I will look over it and I could revise it in a future video. And the second rule I want to make is I will not be reviewing any of the Black Ops 4 Zombies maps because I personally did not enjoy Black Ops 4 that much and never even played the zombies to an extent where I feel like it would be fair to judge it. Alright, so the first map that we're going to look at is Buried from Black Ops 2. And this has like the transit crew, right? So it has Misty, Marlton, Stuhlinger, and Rustman. And I personally thought this was the strongest of that crew's maps. So where would I put Buried? I would put it in the B category. And I say that just because it's a good map, but it's a bit too easy, you know, with Leroy, with getting unlimited perks. It's just really too easy, and that takes it down a notch for me. Plus, the Paralyzer and Vulture Aid do not help with its level of ease. Okay, so next, it looks like we're looking at Garad Krovi, and where would I put this? Well, the Valkyrie robots are annoying, I will say that. The Mangler, I think, is a cool idea. It's pretty cool that you can ride a dragon to Pack-a-Punch, and the means of how to get Pack-a-Punch I do like. But I'm gonna put this in the same category as Buried. It just feels way too much at times, like you have to get the 3 cores, and that's how you get Pack-a-Punch. And for that reason, I'm just putting it in the B category, because at times it does feel a bit convoluted. There are Eisendrach. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but I'm also going to put it in the B category. It's a good map. It is a good map, quite frankly, but I feel like it's way too easy at times, suffering from the same problems Buried has. You know, you can get the 4 bows, but it's already an easy map. Like, there's a lot of training places. There's a dog round every certain number of rounds that gives you a max ammo. And if you just have one of the more powerful bows plus alchemical antithesis, you can go forever on that map. So, yeah. Alright, so the next map I'm gonna do is Ascension, and I'm gonna... This is hard because I want to put it in the C category, but C would mean it's average. I think it's slightly better than the average. I'm gonna put it... Yeah, I'm gonna put it in the B category, just because it's a fun map to play unwind, but, you know, Dreisendrach and Buried, it's way too easy. All you have to do is get the Thunder Gun, and you're good to get to a high round, and for that, it's just not fun, especially with Alchemical Antithesis in Black Ops 3. All you have to do is just get the Thunder Gun, run some trains, and you can easily make it to a high round. Okay, so this is going to be a controversial opinion, most definitely, but I'm going to say Kino der Toten is going to be in the C category. It just doesn't feel like it innovates from Doris that much. Sure, you have the Nova gas crawlers, but aside from that, you have the Thunder Gun. Well, yeah, that's one wonder weapon, but it was supposed to be, for those of you that didn't know, the Thunder Gun was supposed to be on 5, but it was later moved to Kino der Toten. You can look it up, it's totally true. And, you know, it just doesn't feel... It just feels way too easy at times, and there's just nothing that unique about it. Sure, it's a classic, but it's just not that great. And so it's going to go in the C category. Alright, so Zetsubo no Shima. Yeah, that's definitely... I don't want to put it in F, but I want to put it in F. It's way too complicated. To get the power, you have to turn on 2 power switches, and Pack-a-Punch is even a bigger hassle. And the Thrasher zombies are just so annoying. They spawn in so many per round, and they don't even reward you for anything. So Zetsubo, yeah, you're an F. Sorry for that. Um, Baba the Dead is next. Um, let's see. I want to put in S. Now, I'm only going to put one zombie map in S, and I think Mob deserves to be there over Origins and any other map, simply because it introduces new characters, and for one map, Treyarch has done an excellent job of making us care about those characters. It introduced a story, and it also had really cool wonder weapons in the Asuget, and to build the plane was just really cool. It's just Mob is its own map. You feel scared in that map, and unlike Origins, it just feels like a completely different take on zombies, which is why it's going in S. And also introduces Afterlife, which is like a similar component in Shadows of Evil. Okay, Shinonuma is gonna go. I think it's average. It's on the same tier as Kino. You know, if you played Kino Dirto, not Shi, Kino Dirtoten. If you played Shinonuma in the original World at War, the rounds were so easy because 24 zombies would spawn at a time, so you could only end the round with 2 Wonderwall shots, and that was that. You didn't have to do much more. And so making it very easy to get to a high round in a matter of like hours. And it just gets so boring for that reason. C. Okay. Revelations? I want to say it's A tier. It just, I know it's nostalgia. I know it brings like components from Kino and Der Eisendrache and Mob of the Dead, but I just think it such an excellent job, and that's why I'm putting it in A tier. There's no other explanation for that. Okay, next is gonna be Call of the Dead. I do like George. He is annoying, and I do think Call of the Dead is a unique map. It has a scavenger, it has a VR11, and I'm gonna put it at the highest B tier possible. Um, I don't like how George is annoying and slows down the game. And aside from that, that's my only problem with it. So that's why it's in B tier for me. 5 is going to be a controversial one, but I want to put it. I want to put it in A tier because of how difficult it is, but at the same time, if you're playing with more than one player, it becomes 2 people playing solo matches because you have to train or camp on different parts of the map. And if someone goes down, then they're pretty much SOL. So I want to say it's a high B for me, just because of how difficult it is. I like it. The Winter's Howl was a crappy wonder weapon, but other than that, it's too difficult to be any higher. And Zombies is about working together and such. And when you're on different floors and you can't even like strategize together, then it can't go above a B tier for me. Shangri-La, I like it, It's certainly a unique map. It looks different from all the other maps. I'm going to put in the A tier because you have all these unique zombies. You have the Shrieker, you had the Napalm Zombie, you had the monkeys, and that just makes it a unique map to me. And it's a lot of fun to play with because it's just so chaotic, and Pack-a-Punch is simple to get. Okay, so we're going to do Moon next. I think Moon is also A tier. It's also chaotic, but in its own way. You're stuck on the moon, you're in the middle of nowhere, and it just feels like a totally alien-like experience. No pun intended. But Moon is just that map to me that I've always had fond memories of. Yeah, the excavators are annoying. Yes, the astronaut zombie is annoying, but at the end of the day, I think Moon is just that new. It's not a new map. It's a very innovative map for Black Ops. Okay, Noct. Well, Noct was that first map that was released, so it's going to be bare bones. But looking at it objectively, I can't put it higher than a D tier. It's just fun to play every now and then, but because of how bare bones it is and how little content is on the map, you can't play a game of it, more than a game of it, I should say. And because you can't play more than a game of it, it gets old pretty quickly, and it just hurts its replayability. So it's just in the D tier for me. Die Rise. Oh man, that's the epitome of average to me. Die Rise is just like, it's really cool how they introduce those levels of verticality into zombie maps, but at the end of the day, you're just dying more to falling from heights and from zombies, and the Sliquefier is OP, Like, it's very overpowered, so I'm just gonna put it at C tier. It's fun to play every now and then, but it's nothing special. Origins, I'm gonna put as the highest A possible. It's the second best map. It's very innovative. You have four staffs, four unique wonder weapons. You can upgrade them in their own different ways, and it's challenging too. It's not too easy because the Panzers sold that, especially in Black Ops 3. Oh, that's gonna tear you apart if you're not ready for it. It's just awesome. You have the original crew, and there's such a likable cast of characters, so it's just an A tier for me because it's where it all started basically. Doris, I'm gonna put somewhere. Yeah, I'll put it above Buried, but below 5. And it's just been remade so many times, and I feel like it's better than Kino for what it is. But a map from a World at War can only get so good and so innovative, and as you play it more and more, it just becomes increasingly easy, and I just can't stand to do it any longer than that. Transit F tier. No, not F tier. That's harsh. D tier. I like the idea of transit. You hop on a bus, but it's incredibly flawed because the bus will leave without you all the time. And but you have the denizens to slow you down. You have the fog to slow you down. You have the lava to slow you down. Everything just slows you down, and there's no wall weapons in town, which is weird because it's the biggest part of the map. But there's no wall weapons, which means you can't really train there because you're gonna run out of ammo. It just makes it unplayable in a sense. And Pack a Punch, don't even get me started on that. Verrucht. I think Verrucht is better than Shino, it's better than Noct, but it's not better than Dries. I'm gonna put it in the low B tier. Just because of how crazy it is, no pun intended. Zombies move incredibly fast. It introduced perks, it introduced traps, and it's really innovative for its time. But it's often forgotten by the zombies community for whatever reason. And I'm gonna leave it at B tier. Shadows, I didn't like it at first, but I will put in the A category because it was kind of like a Mob of the Dead, right? You had this mode you could go into where you can turn on the power or do other things. And at first, it was really complicated for me to learn, and I would have put it in the C tier. But compared to Transit and compared to Mob, it's actually, uh, I think it works well in the A tier. You got the Margwall, you got the music, you got the 1920s feel. It just feels very nice for a zombies map, and the difficulty is appropriate. And I believe that's every. Yep, that's every map. So that's every map besides the Black Ops 4 maps. But there it is. That's my ranking video, and I think it's a pretty normal distribution there. And if you have any disagreements, you're more than welcome to challenge me. But that's my tier list for Treyarch zombies. See you next time, guys.